guys, welcome to Money Conversations with Arese. And today we have a message from Vivian in Lagos. Vivian, talk to me.
Dear Arese, my name is Vivian. I'm a teacher. My salary is quite small, but it gives me time. One of my 2019 goals was to start a side hustle to help me increase my income. Since I went to makeup school 2 years ago, I decided to open a makeup studio. So I went to take loans from two of my colleagues at work to add to my savings. Then I started in January 2020. I employed an assistant to cover up for me while I was at work. But then COVID happened in March. I was supposed to be paying the loans monthly, but because there's no revenue, I can't. People are dragging me for their money and I don't know what to do. Please, can you teach me how to manage this?
Wow. First of all, I just want to say, Vivian, sorry, because, bruv, like you didn't even take debt for something frivolous like shopping or, retail therapy because, COVID happened and I need to feel better. You did it to attain your financial goals, which there's nothing wrong with, but debt can be tricky. Let me explain. There's good debt and there's bad debt. Good debt is when you take on debt to grow your assets or invest in something that's going to appreciate in value and pay you money in the future, right? Bad debt is what many broke people do, which is get into debt to do things that their incomes can't support and buy things that make rich people richer. Rich people use debt to leverage their investments and grow their cash flows so that they can attain financial success. But even that is tricky. But I will walk you through it. Let me share 3 tips that can help you. My first tip is 1, you have to confront your debt by calculating your debt to income ratio, right? So for example, if your income is 100,000 naira and your debt is 250,000 naira, that means your debt to income ratio is 2.5. If your income is 100,000 and you took debt of 50,000, your debt to income ratio is 0.5. Now at 2.5, it becomes clear that your income cannot support the debt that you took on. Why is this important? It is important because your debt to income ratio shows you a benchmark for how to take on debt. So in case of next time, you can think, if it doesn't work out, if the business doesn't work out, can my income support this? Number 2, you want to think about the behaviors and the decisions that got you into debt in the first place. Because if you do not systematically look at these behaviors and the decisions that got you here, you will always come back to the same place, right? Now, in your case, you didn't necessarily do anything wrong because you really wanted to start a business to help improve your cash flows, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So a few observations from your own situation that I noticed. So 1, you took on short-term loans to grow a long-term asset. Private equity firms, when they're investing in businesses, they give them about 7 years, right? Because they know that it takes time for the business to evolve or to start to make a profit, right? And most businesses tend to fail within the first 5 years. Now, in your case, COVID happened and it just changed the game. It meant that the makeup industry, suffered during this lockdown and all of that. So it was a very extreme situation, but you could have also found yourself in a situation where you started the business and maybe month 1 is great. After your launch, month 2, clients are slow to come in because you haven't established a brand yet. You don't have a loyal client base yet. It might have taken a while to also still make enough revenue for your business to be able to pay back the loan on a monthly basis. So you took on a loan that you have to pay back every month for a business that might take a longer period to improve its cash flows or increase its revenues or even be profitable, right? But again, we're entrepreneurs in Africa and sometimes needs must. You do what you have to do. But if you knew that, you would have set a contingency plan, a plan B in case it not work. What am I going to do? Which is why your debt to income ratio is also important. When I'm borrowing the money, how am I going to pay it back in the event that I cannot make enough revenues to pay back the debt? Even if you are taking good debt, you need to be careful. It's important for you to analyze whether the future revenues can cover the cost of the debt and the debt itself, right? But most people tend to overestimate the revenue that they're going to make from their business, and that overestimation can put you in trouble. A better way to do it would have been to have a best case scenario, mid case scenario, worst case scenario, and have a plan for each one, right? So you have to make sure that even when you're taking on debt, you have a plan to cover the cost of the debt and the debt itself. Tip number 3, you need a debt repayment plan. You need to write out who you owe, how much you owe, when you're going to pay them back. Is there interest on it? What types of interest are on the loan? I know it sounds easier said than done, but let me tell you something. Most people are going to hear, put a debt repayment plan, easy. Where am I going to get the money to pay it back? And they'll be doing the calculations in their head. Sounds familiar, Abby? They're doing the calculations of what they owe people in their heads. Now, this is the problem. Now, some of your debts might have interest attached to it. In order for you to know which one to pay first, which one is the most pressing one, you need to lay it out, right? So that you realize whether, okay, in this situation, maybe I should pay off the smallest one first, or maybe I should pay off the one that has the highest interest attached to it, so that I'm not paying more debt over time, right? You need to spread it out. Now, it is hard to repay debt. Don't get it twisted. But when you have a plan and you ginger yourself, you motivate yourself, and you're like, listen, any cash I get is going to go towards destroying this thing step by step. That's the mindset that you need to be able to come out of debt. 2, you need to think about what cash you're going to be able to raise to pay off the debt. A few ways that you can do this. 1, look at your budget. Cut out expenses ruthlessly so that you can create cash within your current income to pay off some of the debts. I'm sure this might not be enough. So look at what you own. What can I sell off? What do I own that's of value that I can sell off to pay off some of these debts? 3, what skills do I have that do not require me to put in an extra income or to risk an extra income to be able to raise money to pay off this debt? You're a teacher. It means you have more flexible working hours than most, professionals, which is a great thing. So you have a little bit more time to do other things. You can set up packages to teach kids via Zoom lessons. There are lots of kids having exams at the moment, looking for lesson teachers. That could be one way to raise capital. Another way could be to start doing home service and growing your client base through social media and showcasing the work that you've already done to find new clients, right? So I hope that you found this helpful. If debt is something that you struggle with, you might want to sign up for the Smart Money 30-Day Challenge, where we give you one financial task in your inbox every single day. And it comes with group coaching calls every week and 3 smart money toolkits that help you get out of debt, budget, etc. See you next time.